The deadlift is one of the best exercises out there, and it's one of the best exercises you can invest in. Now, I'm going to tell you a story about how it's bettered my life, and now I'm reaping the results. And I'm thanking myself for putting in the effort in the years prior. And this has nothing to do with powerlifting, because I was deadlifting long before I started powerlifting. But before I do that, we're going to lift some heavy ass weight and deadlift. Main lifts are done. Moving on to leg press now. I've got 4 sets, so it's myo reps. So whatever number of reps I hit on my first set, I've got to hit on my last 3 sets. So I'm aiming to go for 14. So if I get to 10 on my second set and I hit failure, I've got to take 5 breaths and then try and hit the remaining 4, whether that's in 2s, 1s, whatever. So basically, you're kind of trying to surpass failure, and it hurts, but it's fun. Five, 6, 12. Right, that's the session done. Just get a quick pump check. Haven't trained any biceps today. Just focus on triceps, and I'm going to hit biceps more the weekend. I've really hammered them the last couple of weeks, and my tennis elbow's been playing me up, so I'm giving them a little bit of a rest. That was a very good session. I surpassed what I thought I was going to get on deadlifts. I was programmed in for 135 kilogram for 4 RP8. I managed 140. So I'm really happy. I thought today wasn't going to be a great session because I've come on my period. So TMI, I know, but it affects performance. So yeah, and I've had nothing to eat since it's actually earlier today because I had an earlier lunch, so it's around 12:30. But I feel good. I feel actually pretty pumped as well. So I'm really happy with that. I'm really happy with today. It couldn't have gone any better in my eyes. I mean, I still can't pose for shit. Yeah, that is the session. Really fucking enjoyed that. I'm now the only one in the gym. It's 25 to 10. Been at work 8 till 6:30. Got here about 7:30, and I'm just finishing up because it's really hot today. I'm here to kick my ass. So I've took it slow, and I'm done. I'm pumped. I'm going to go home and eat. And that's it for today. Please, if you do anything today, get in the gym. You'll feel better for it. Don't be a little bitch. And get an arm pump while you're at it. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe and comment if you haven't. I'll see you Thursday for legs. As the title of the video, I just want to touch on how much of an investment deadlifts are to do. Well, strength training in general, but deadlifts for this specific video. They're not dangerous. If done correctly, they're perfectly safe. If you're not a power lifter, you don't need to do 1 rep maxes and push yourself. You can do 5 rep maxes, 3 rep maxes, which is better for the general population anyway. And they're not going to hurt your back, provided you do correct form and respect the weight and the bar. But they are such an investment to do, as is any exercise, but for this particular topic, I'm on about deadlifts. So whether you're carrying the shopping, you're picking a bag up off the floor, you're picking your child up, you're picking your grandchild up, you're picking something heavy up off the floor, you know, you are deadlifting something. That is the form you are you are doing. Health and safety at work, lift with your knees, not your back thing. That is the form. That is what you're doing. When you're deadlifting, you're strengthening that particular movement. You're strengthening that pattern, that movement pattern, and you do more than you realise in your everyday routine and life that replicates that movement and pattern. And performing that movement and that exercise
will benefit you in a lot of ways. Not only will it strengthen your joints, you're gonna strengthen your muscles as well. You're learning to brace correctly. You're going to be strengthening your core, your lower back, your erector spinae. You're going to be protecting your back. It's got a lot of benefits. You see a lot of people who actually bend over to get something and their back might go. A lot of the time, not all the time, but a lot of the times it can be to do with, a weak core, weak glutes, weak erector spinae, and that's why things like that happen. And this is why we have physio and rehab, because you're strengthening the muscles back up. And I'm just going to touch on a story and about why I am so grateful right now that I started deadlifting. So for a while, my German Shepherd, my old boy Paddy, this is Paddy, I'll put him on the screen briefly. He's my sidekick. He's one of my best friends. My other one is my other dog, Coco. He's an old boy now. He's 10. And he's been having trouble with his back legs. So we've took him to the vets and he's been diagnosed with degenerative myelopathy. I hope I'm saying that right. Essentially, it is a progressive disease, which it's a neurological disease, and it attacks, from what I know, the nerves in the spine, and he's slowly becoming paralysed. I believe it started in his back legs, and I think that's how it typically starts in any dog, and it works its way up. German Shepherds are very prone to it because of their build and their size, and it's very sad, and there's nothing they can do to treat it. It's a progressive disease, and there's currently no cure. And currently, he is getting worse. So we're having to kind of, try and manage as best we can. He's currently still happy in himself, other than he can't really run about like he used to. And on Saturday night, he had probably a really rough episode, and he couldn't pick his legs up at all, and he couldn't even get up the stairs. So he's managed really well, and he's managed to kind of develop his own way of getting up and down the stairs still. We aid him down the stairs because he's a bit like a stampede coming down the stairs, just so he doesn't hurt himself. And we've now got him like a sling to actually assist him with getting up and down the stairs. But Saturday night, he couldn't get up the stairs. Now, I will do anything in my power to ensure, because my dogs, they sleep with me, and I always have since they were little, and that will never change. Bearing in mind, he's a big dog. He's 43 kilogram. He's a little bit on the chunky side, but he can't exercise like he used to, so we're letting him off. And I'm just a woman. I'm 26 years old, and I'm currently around 86 kilogram dropping, and I was very thankful Saturday night that I lift, because I managed to pick him up and carry him up a flight of stairs. Now, granted, you think, oh, well, you lift weights, you should be able to do that. You try picking up a 43 kilogram animal and carrying it up a flight of stairs. Bearing in mind, he's not a small dog. He's a big dog, and he's got a lot of weight. And I was so thankful in that time, because I'm very lucky I didn't struggle. And I'm grateful because I've put in the work up to this point where I know if anything was to happen, I've got his back. And that's very reassuring for me. And it really made me think, people need to start looking after themselves, if not for their own sake, for your pet's sake. If you haven't got a family, do it for your fucking dog. What would you do if you were out taking your dog for a walk, you're in the woods, you're away from your car, and something happened to your dog, God forbid? Could you pick your dog up and carry it back? If you've got a big dog, there's big dogs out there, German Shepherds, Huskies, Labradors, Golden Retrievers. Could you pick your dog up and carry it to safety? Because I can fully, confidently say I can. And you should be able to, your dog looks to you for safety and reassurance. And I'm very, very grateful now I've put the work in, because I know I've got his back, and I will do whatever I can. And, whether it's your grandchild, your child, your wife, your husband, your dog, anything, can you confidently say, if they needed to get to safety, could you pick them up? Could you drag them to safety? Could you pick them up? Because if you can't, You need to take a real good, hard, long look at yourself and put the work in. Don't wait for someone else to come along and rescue you. Yeah, that's kind of what I just wanted to get out. I'm just very grateful right now. I've kind of put the work in up until now, to this point, because I've actually got a video of me when me and Paddy were younger. I'll try and find it and overlay it here. And I actually picked him up when he was lighter. I think he was only about 2, 3. So he was, substantially smaller and lighter. And I was squatting him in the video. And it's funny how it's kind of foreshadowed how I would be taking him up the stairs to bed. It's very sad. But he's not done fighting yet, because he's a fighter and he ain't given up yet. And I'm not giving up yet. So I will do everything I can in my power to do that. And I think if you don't lift, and I'm not saying, you've got to be jacked, you've got to be this, you've got to be that. That's not what I'm saying. But if something was to happen or threaten your safety of your loved ones or you, could you confidently say you could move them to safety? If something was to happen, can you do that? Because if you can't, you really need to kind of reconsider and think about what you can do to better yourself and put yourself and your loved ones in a better position. And I've got no kids currently, but I've got a fiance, I've got a family, and I've got 2 dogs that rely on me. Granted, the one's a Chihuahua. She's not, she's pretty fat, but, she's not hard to pick up. But it's something to really kind of consider and think about. So, yeah, that's kind of today's rant.